With love in all thy sons come, and with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
The Tiger Cats and the Lions are all set, and we'll have the opening kickoff in just a moment. The official in charge this afternoon, Dale, take it away.
Thank you very much, Al, and I certainly hope the mouth is working better than it was on the opening. And this is Howard Fields bringing it back on the kickoff return for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And he's out to about the 26-yard line. Fields was back as the return man along with Keith Baker instead of Rufus Crawford. And Fields brings it back 24 yards. And so Dieter Brock and the Hamilton offense will go to work from near their 26-yard line. Howard Fields leaves the playing field. And there is Dieter. He'll also have in the backfield Johnny Shepard and Mark Bragagnola. He'll have receivers Ron Johnson, Keith Baker, Rocky DiPietro, and Rufus Crawford. Johnny Shepard still not 100%. Dieter, pressure from Glenn Jackson. The ball is loose. The BC Lions converge on it. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. I wonder about that call from the head referee, Larry Rohan. It looked like a fumble to me, Frank.
Dale, it was almost intercepted as well as the ball went up in the air. It did look like, I think, Dale, that Dieter's arm moved forward just a bit. That, of course, is what determines what happens. The big pressure put on by Glenn Jackson. Pretty tough to see from that picture. But a break for the Ticats, and just an incompletion.
Back to the live action. Maybe he was in a passing motion. Second down and 10. Across the middle. And going absolutely nowhere after making the catch was Rocky DiPietro near the 30-yard line. Well short of the first down. Actually, he was up at the 33 before they pushed him back. But the punting unit comes in.
You know, I talked to Don Matthews before the ball game, and he said they were not going to blitz Dieter particularly any more than other quarterbacks. But, man, they had everybody coming those first two plays.
Bernie Ruoff, the punting leader in the Canadian Football League 1984 with a 47.3-yard average.
I was talking to Bernie before the game. He's in marvelous physical shape, Dale, and says he wants to play a few more years and maybe break all the records there are in the kicking department of the CFL. And he might, too.
Beautiful kick by Bernie. This is Larry Crawford from his own 25-yard line. Crawford puts his head down, gets out to near the 34. Dave Graffey, one of the downfield tacklers, along with Wayne Lee, a return of 9 yards, and a punt traveling 52 yards by Bernie Ruoff. So it's now BC Lions football for the first time in this game. And Roy DeWalt, of course, the starting quarterback. You see David Tulumu starting in the backfield alongside John Henry White. Tulumu is a cousin to Saskatchewan quarterback Joe Paupau. Ned Armour back in the lineup as a wide receiver along with Swervin Mervyn Fernandez. Inside Robinson and Pankratz. First down Lions, and they want to go for the bundle right off the bat. Intended for Fernandez. What a catch by Mervyn Fernandez.
What a huge play by Fernandez.
A 54-yard gain on the Lions' opening play from scrimmage, and that's the kind of offense these people at BC want to see.
Well, they got single coverage on Merv, which was very unusual, actually. They normally have two people. Gerald Best was back there, the corner on that right side, but just a great athletic move by Fernandez made the play.
That was Mervyn's 40th catch of the season. First down Lions at the Hamilton 22-yard line.
Sneaking across the middle there.
Ed Armour worked himself into the open near the sidelines for a pickup of 4.5 yards. Gerald Best making the tackle.
Neil, very, very few times will you see any defense play these BC Lions in a man-to-man type of coverage. usually they get zoned at least 90 to 95% of the time. And Lions had that big play, got good protection from that offensive line on their opening offensive series.
13-year veteran Al Wilson, the center, anchors that offensive line for BC. For Leonard, the guards, Blaine, Illerbrand, the tackles. They've switched around. Of course, they started the season with Blaine on the right side, Illerbrand on the left. Illerbrand is a much better right tackle, so they made the switch. It's second down and about 5, and the BC Lions, I believe, took too long in getting that ball in play. That is the call against DeWalt. He's not happy about it. He's arguing maybe they whistled time in a little too quickly on him.
Well, that's a costly penalty at 2nd and 6. Now they'll be back to 11 yards now, having to pick up.
We saw Tommy Clements as we get the call from Larry Rohan.
Time count penalty. Number 9 BC. Second down repeated.
Friday night Winnipeg. We saw Clements get called a couple of times for time count violation. Didn't seem to bother him too much, did it?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's the only thing he did wrong all night. What a huge evening he had. And Willard Reeves, of course, for the Bombers.
65-25 triumph. All right, it's second down, about 11 for the Lions. Under pressure, DeWalt gets away and throws a strike to John Henry White. He's got a first and goal at the 2-yard line. What a well-thrown football by DeWalt. 21-yard gain.
I believe it was Covington in there for the Hamilton Ticats. Put great pressure on DeWalt, but an excellent move by the BC quarterback to avoid being sacked. Watch 77. Covington beats Hildebrand to the inside, or takes that inside route, and Leonard did not pick him up quick enough, but a good play by DeWalt.
John Henry gets the Lions first and goal near the Hamilton 2-yard line. First possession of the ball game for the Lions is a mix-up in the backfield. DeWalt will go absolutely nowhere, helping to stack up the defense. Leon Lyskevich, number 64, from his right tackle spot. Also there, Mark Streeter, the safety. Ben Zambiazzi, number 31, is playing middle linebacker for the second straight game.
Well, one of the backs went the wrong way. You'd have to think there was some confusion back there. David Lumu in that backfield, number 27, just his second game as a BC Lion.
Second and goal. DeWalt got back to the line of scrimmage on that first play. Sings it right over Ned Armour.
Oh, they're going to call bats for interference. He pushed Ned Armour, but it looked like the ball had already gone by.
Well, if that's the call, it'll be first and goal all over again from the 1-yard line. We're going to discuss this a little bit. Was it a catchable football, I wonder? Maybe that's the discussion now.
Well, I don't really think it was, Dale. The ball was well over his head.
To be, yeah.
Fred Fleming, our ISO director, tells us the BC Lions were trying to pick on the play, but the ball was thrown extremely high. The Lions are going to get a big break right here.
One other game going on this afternoon in the CFL. 3 minutes into the third quarter. 24-10. Calgary leading Saskatchewan at Taylor Field.
Interference. Hamilton, number 14. First down.
Here's another look at it.
See if you think this ball could have been caught.
Looked like Armour even gave up on it. I mean, he wasn't even going to attempt to go up in the air.
He sure did.
All right, it's first and goal from the 1. Robinson, number 16, going in motion out of your picture. Roy DeWalt on the keeper, and he puts it in the end zone. That's the first time this year that DeWalt has kept the ball and put it in the end zone himself. And the Lions go on top here. With 10:23 remaining in the first quarter. Of course, this drive started with a big play from DeWalt to Mervyn Fernandez. They worked it in from there.
Good surge by the offensive unit of the BC Lions. I really think they got a big break there as Gerald Best called in the end zone, working against Ned Armour, and the Lions take advantage. 10:23 still remaining in this first quarter. 7-0 ball game now for the BC Lions.
Louis Pasaglia is 21 out of 21 conversion attempts this year for the BC Lions. They lead it 7-0 over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We'll be back to BC Place in just a moment. Leaded here in the first quarter over Hamilton, 7-0. The touchdown was scored by Roy DeWalt. Lou Pasaglia from the 45-yard line to kick off for the second time in this ball game. They've already got the wave going here at the stadium at BC Place, and on the return now is Les Brown for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and he fumbles the football. The Tiger Cats, fortunately, got it back at their own 22-yard line. 18-yard return. And let's see who it was that came up with the football. Ed Gadabakis, number 39, a linebacker.
Well, that ball was on the ground for quite a while. Nobody knew it was there. Looked like he hit his own player, actually, to fumble that football. So the Ticats take over once again. They did not pick up a first down, first go round.
First and 10, Dieter Brock into the middle. Rufus Crawford working against Larry Crawford, who finally made the tackle, but not until Crawford had taken it out, or to the 37-yard line. Larry Crawford making the tackle on Rufus Crawford, 15-yard gain.
You can see Kev Konar there in the middle of your screen, number 31, coming on that blitz from that linebacking position. That opened up the middle for Dieter. They're bringing everybody. They brought 7 people again. Man-to-man coverage downfield.
It's the number 2 receiver in the Canadian Football League. Crawford, his 47th catch of the season. Dieter going deep for Crawford this time.
And he did get behind Andre Jones, number 32, just a bit, but Dieter overthrew him.
Last night in the Canadian Football League, the Edmonton Eskimos came back to win it over the Toronto Argonauts 34-33. The Eskimos now with a 6-4 record.
Jack Parker and his staff doing an excellent job with a ball club that was picked to be out of the playoffs before the year started.
Second down and 10, Hamilton from their own 37. Turkis with the pressure, got the ball out to Bragignola. It was low. He couldn't hang on to it. Incomplete pass. Third down, Hamilton.
Just a little stunt in that defensive front four, and the Lions put good pressure on there without bringing any linebackers that time.
Bernie Ruoff is in to punt for the second time. Of course, he's the all-time leading Tiger Cat scorer coming into this ball game. He had 76 points in the season. Puts him 7th in the scoring race. Career-wise, Bernie has 1,328. Good for 3rd place. All-time CFL scoring. Here's his second punt. Brings this one up there, and Crawford from the 35-yard line. Good punt return men for the BC Lions. They lead the league in punt return yardage. Crawford brings that one out to the 52-yard line. The Lions lead it 7-0 over Hamilton. We'll be back in just a moment. Lions have the ball for the second time. We have 8:43 remaining first quarter. BC has a 3-game winning streak going against the Tiger Cats. Last time Hamilton won was back on October 24th, 1982, when they were 35-22 winners over BC in Hamilton. And the last time Hamilton won a game out in Vancouver was August 16th, 1981. They won it 37-23.
Well, a lot of folks have won in this stadium, Dale. In fact, only one team in the country.
And the Argos did it twice last year, of course, regular season and Grey Cup. First down for the Lions from 52. They give it David Tolumo. Leo Ezrin brought him down at the 50-yard line of Hamilton. A pickup of 8 yards for Tolumo, who, of course, is only playing his second game with the Lions. He's out of Hawaii.
A little misdirection play. You can see the offside offensive lineman coming over and providing some blocking help for Tolumo, who is not regarded as a great running back, but a really tough kid, a good blocker, a good receiver. I don't think you'll see him carry the football more than 3 or 4 times today.
Second down and 2. Early movement and contact made. The snap wasn't made by Wilson to DeWalt. He started to pull away from the center, and the right side jumped.
That was really strange, wasn't it? The right side went, the left side stayed solid. A little confusion there by the Lions, I'm sure, with the snap count.
All right, so Cruz and Klassen head out.
Illegal procedure, BC number 9. Second down repeated.
Sure, the quarterback gets playing.
There's the overall record between these two clubs since 1961. But again, the Lions have won the last 3 straight against Hamilton to close that gap a bit. It's second down now and 7 yards to go. DeWalt stands in there, gets good protection, finds Ned Armour for the first down at the Hamilton 40-yard line. Again, working against Gerald Best, and this time Armour picks up 15.
We run this play back for you again. Started up, you see Ben Zambiazzi, number 31, coming in on kind of a delayed blitz. Stop it right there. Zambiazzi is picked up extremely well by the BC Lions. Tulumu, number 27, gets a good piece of him. Give him to Walt time to throw the football.
Walt's 4 for 4, 94 yards. He's scored the only touchdown of the ballgame so far. 7-0 lead for BC. First down from Hamilton 40. Going deep for Fernandez, working against Les Brown. End zone, touchdown. We may see another offensive show here today.
Well, Dale, it seems like every time you and I get together to do a BC Lion game, it's a Fernandez show. And once again, DeWalt and Fernandez, just a perfect throw, and Fernandez had to stretch totally out to make this reception. Freddie Fleming has it for you on ISO. Watch this.
Great job by Mervyn Fernandez to get his 9th touchdown of the season.
Really not bad coverage by Brown. With
What are you going to do, right?
Football.
40-yard score for the Lions. Pancratz holds for Passaglia. They now lead it 14-0 with 6:53 to go in the opening quarter. The Lions offense rolling here early in this ball game. They haven't been able to do that for a while. They lead it 14-0. We'll be back in a moment. Here's that last play for the major score once more. DeWalt with a beautiful throw. Fernandez with a superb catch. Touchdown, BC.
Looked like he just reeled back and threw it as far as he could.
This is the third kickoff coming up now by Passaglia, and now Rufus Crawford is on the kick return for Hamilton. He wasn't out there for the first two, and this is Crawford, who's third in the league in kick returns, running this one back. Good run by Rufus, takes it out near the 29-yard line, a return of 27 yards. Crawford coming into this ball game with 1,739 yards offense. That's catching the football, running the ball, punt returns, and kickoff returns. I don't understand why he wasn't out there for the first two kickoffs. First down, Hamilton, the ball at their own 29-yard line. Johnny Shepard is met in the backfield by James Quick Parker. A loss on the play of a couple.
A crossblock by the Hamilton Ticats, as you see on the left side here. The tackle goes down, the guard coming out, trying to pick off Parker, but they just can't get to him at all. Sheds a block immediately at the line of scrimmage. The loss is going to be 2 or 3 yards. That was Ross Francis that he beat, the offensive guard, 54, trying to block Parker, who is now signed a long-term contract with the BC Lions.
Here we go with shotgun formation for Dieter Brock. Second down and 12. Oh, he is hammered. The ball comes loose. James Parker with the hit. They're going to rule it a dead ball at that point.
Another break, I think, for the Ticats. It looked like to me the contact separated the ball from Dieter Brock. He did not appear to be down. Let's look at it again.
Dieter, of course, just bounces right back up.
Oh, looks like
the ball didn't. I don't think it came loose till he hit the turf, Frank. See if we can see it at this angle. Boom.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe he did go down on his back there before he fumbled.
Further loss on the play. It's third down and 20 yards to go. James Parker with his 14th quarterback sack. Big rush up the middle is almost blocked by Bird. Darnell Clash on the return from the 50-yard line. Gadabakis made the tackle on Clash at the Hamilton 53, a 7-yard return after a 40-yard punt. Bernie did a good job of getting that one underway with tremendous pressure coming up the middle.
I'll tell you, the Lions create excitement, though, don't they, on those kick returns?
As I mentioned, they do lead the league in punt return yardage. They're low on kick return yardage, kickoff returns. You look at the defensive line for Hamilton. They don't allow people to score very often against them, so they don't get many chances to run the ball back on kickoffs. Zambiazzi is in the middle for the second straight game. First down play. John Henry White slips around the outside and gets to the 50-yard line for a pickup of close to 3 yards. Ezrin is there along with Mitchell Price, number 65.
I'll tell you, there's worse news for the rest of the teams in the Canadian Football League. I was talking to Al Wilson before the ball game, and he says Nick Hepler is ready to come back into the lineup. He could be back now if he wasn't on that injury list. He'll be back for the Argonaut game early in October. Of course, they are the #1 rated defensive club in the nation. without Hebron.
They've only given up 114 points in the first half of the season. Walt brings it down, and he's not going to pick up a first. He stopped near the 47-yard line, 4 yards short.
Well, the first time the Ticats have been able to stop the Lions so far in this ball game. Have Lou Pasaglia come out now. The only decision is whether he's going to punt it or try an extremely long field goal. It would come from about 57 yards out or 53 yards out, so I guess they're going to punt it away.
His longest this year is 54.
The only punter in the history of professional football to average 50 yards a kick, Lou Pasaglia, did it in 1983.
Had a quick look at Rufus Crawford. Now they make it. John Henry White, I don't know if he made the first down or not. Hamilton's defense reacted quickly, led by Ben Zambiazzi.
He made it, Dale, but just barely.
See Mike McIntyre, the Tiger Cats, indicating that they stopped them. They're going to measure this one.
Well, they spotted it a little bit further back. I thought he made it to the 42-yard line.
Ooh, this is
going to be really, really close.
Comes the chain gang in. Direct snap out of punt formation to John Henry White. Got close. He got it. Whoa. That's good reaction by the Hamilton defense. Covington and Zambiazzi got there about the same time. Mark Streeter playing in the middle tonight, this afternoon. First down Lions from the Hamilton 42. Dumps it over the middle to John Henry White. He's had a couple of blockers in front of him. John Henry turns back to the right side, and Ganavakas was there to bring him down. Had he kept going left, I think he had more running room.
Well, I think so too, Dale. As a matter of fact, he had two blockers out in front of him. Al Wilson was one of them, but he looked like he was looking for Ganavakas trying to run over him. Pickup is about 7 yards.
So Klassen and Cruz come in, extra blocking. Pankratz and Ned Armour are out on second down and 3. Robinson goes in motion to the bottom of your screen. David Tulumu cuts it back as a first down. Leo Ezrins, number 72, made the tackle on him inside the 30-yard line. Tulumu is 5'11", 190 out of the University of Hawaii. His first game, that's what he did. The Lions a couple weeks ago against the Calgary Stampeders. The Lions have now picked up 9 first downs in the opening quarter. We're just over 2 minutes remaining. Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. Pressure on DeWalt. Zambiazzi. Good blitz. Brings the quarterback down at the 40-yard line.
Good defense by the Ticats downfield as well as Zambiazzi finds a hole and gets up in there to sack Roy DeWalt. The loss will be all the way back to 40-yard line or 39-yard line of the Ticats. Veteran linebacker from Georgia. Zambiazzi playing only his second game, I believe, isn't it, Dale, in that middle linebacking spot?
That's right. He was defensive player of the game last week against Montreal. John Priestner, of course, is out of action with an injury. As you look at Roy DeWalt. You know, if you just compared the two quarterbacks and their statistics so far this year, it's amazing how close Brock and DeWalt are. The biggest discrepancy, of course, is interceptions. He just thrown considerably more. Second and long. DeWalt chased out of there, lost the football, and he just gets back on top of it. Now a flag comes down. Mitchell Price may be called for the late hit.
Oh, I don't know. I agree with the general concept of protecting your quarterback, but it looked like to me that Price didn't do anything out of the ordinary in trying to pin DeWalt there. He's going to get a rough play call, though.
Major foul, 65, Hamilton. First down.
Al Bruno's completely upset over
Bruno
this.
out on the field after that one. I don't know if this ball was knocked out of his hand or not, was it, Dale?
I think he just dropped it. No, I'm sure the Lascavich got a hand on it. Knocked it away from the wall. Nevertheless, first down, BC at the Hamilton 38. Penalty marker down. I think a defensive player jumped offside.
Price was offside, number 65.
Grover Covington, Ben Zambiazzi, Rod Skillman all met at the quarterback, but it's going to be offside Hamilton. Tiger Cats hurting themselves here now with penalties.
This is reminiscent of Friday night when the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had everything going their way. All of it's happening for the Lions at this point in time. You saw Price circled up offside at that right defensive in spot. First and 5 now.
Offside, Hamilton 65. First down repeat.
1:26 remaining in the opening quarter. First and 5 now for the Lions at the Tiger Cat 33.
Might as well try running with the football now.
Drop play to Tulumu. He runs right into Lascavich after a pickup of a couple. So it'll be second down and about 3 yards to go.
Tulumu played, of course, as we mentioned, for the Atlanta Falcons for a couple of years, and apparently when he was released, he called the BC Lions. Having been familiar with their coaching staff out of the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, Adam Rita was one of his coaches there.
And of course, being Joe Pau Pau's cousin, he would know a little bit about the Lions situation out here. DeWalt completes it to John Henry White for a first down inside the 25-yard line. White just swinging out of the backfield and finding that open area in front of Zambiazzi. Ben was there to make the stop on him, but not before he picked up the first.
Walt had to throw a pretty good shot down there, kept it low. Zambiazzi right there to make the stop, but not before the Lions pick up yet another first down.
DeWalt's now 7 out of 7 for 148 yards, 1 touchdown pass. Now he's in trouble. He'll be sacked on this play. Back at the 28. Zambiazzi again.
Covington, Price as well.
Should be the last play of the opening quarter as you look at head coach Don Matthews. We're going to have time for one more play, even though the scoreboard clock shows no time remaining. So we will get one more play here before the end of the first. It's second down, about 13. DeWalt, a little bit of trouble again. They're unloaded. He does. He threw it right in the turf. He's going to get called for it.
Well, I think that was a good call.
I think it was. He had a couple of men downfield, but he made no attempt whatsoever to get it in their area. He was trying to direct a little bit of traffic while he was running.
It was a good job defensively by the Ticats. They had everybody covered.
No doubt, DeWalt threw that one away, and he got called for it.
When you're going to do that, you might as well throw it completely out of the end zone. At least it doesn't look as obvious as this one. We'll get another play in this first quarter with that penalty. Lumu and John Henry White both coming out of that backfield were well covered by the Ticats. Zambiazzi being talked to now by referee Larry Rohan.
I got intentionally grounding BC number 9. Third down.
Well, there really wasn't much question about that. Fans aren't very happy here, but we'll see Lou Pasaglia come on and try to make it 17-0.
That's assistant coach Ted Schmitz. And the Tiger Cats have a point here. They're wondering why the line of scrimmage is still at the 29-yard line. And Pasaglia is good on a 36-yard field goal attempt. And that officially ends the opening quarter here at BC Place. And the BC Lions are in front of the Hamilton Tiger Cats 17-0. We'll return with second quarter action in just a moment. We're back at BC Place Stadium. The Lions lead it 17-0. Hamilton first and 10 from the 35. Penalty marker. Dragignola takes the pass from Dieter Brock in the backfield, hit immediately by Mac Moore, number 78. But it looked like the Lions may have jumped offside on the play.
Rick Klassen.
Now that we are into the second quarter, the Lions have now gone 11 consecutive quarters without giving up a touchdown. The record is 13 straight quarters set by Calgary back in 1954.
Well, they've only given up 114 points the whole year, and
only 10 touchdowns.
This is their 9th football game. A team that has been criticized locally, and they're 7-1.
Offside line, so it's first down over again. 5 yards to go from the 40. Johnny Shepard slips outside. Moving up quickly is Mel Bird. There'll be another loss on the play.
It's just unfortunate for the Hamilton Ticats that Shepard has not been able to be 100% at any ball game throughout 1984. Having a difficult time cutting with that hip that's bothering him. There's a pretty graphic illustration of what happened in the first quarter. Almost no offense by the Ticats.
Second down and 7. Rocky DiPietro, the Hamilton Tiger Cats all-time leading receiver, unable to come down with that one. So it's Bernie Ruoff and the punting unit coming onto the field for Hamilton.
It looked like Rocky just jumped a little bit too early that time. Take a look at it.
Trying to hit the seam, and he was open. Crawford and Clash, the return man. Quick look at him there. We're into the second quarter. Lions in front by 17 and getting the ball back. Good kick by Ruoff. Clash back inside the 15-yard line. Leo Ezrins downfield to make the tackle on Clash. The ball came loose, but Clash got it back. 17-0, 59-yard punt, 12-yard return. Lions with a big lead. We'll be back in just a moment.
You see the next Ticat home game flashed on the screen there. That's going to be a big day at Ivor-Wynne Stadium. It's going to be Burlington Day. The city of Burlington, Ontario will be honored. Their Burlington Teen Tour Band will play. Also, the Boy Scouts of Canada will be honored there. Should be a big afternoon at Ivor-Wynne.
First down Lions. DeWalt completes it to Pancratz up near the 45-yard line. He has a pickup of 21 yards on the play. John Pancratz, I believe that's his first catch of the afternoon.
I think that's the first time DeWalt has looked his way.
First down Lions. He spotted at the 44.
Good shot there of that zone defense of the Ticats, and Pancratz finding the same.
Howard Fields moving up to make the tackle. Looking for Fernandez. DeWalt just threw this one into the Hamilton bench.
I don't think that was intentional. I think Roy just had that one get away from him a little bit.
That's his first incompletion.
Roy's been under a fair amount of heat here in Vancouver, even though the ball club is 7-1. He lost the ability, really, of taking off with the football, which he had earlier in his career, but that foot injury, which has continued to bother him, has taken away some of his mobility, that's for sure.
Second and 10 BC. DeWalt in trouble, dumps it off to John Henry White. He's got some blockers in front of him. John Henry White. Touchdown BC. 66-yard score and a penalty flag at the goal line. But I don't think it's against the Lions.
Well, they caught the Hamilton Ticats in a blitz. Ben Zambiazzi coming from that middle linebacking spot, blitzed on the right side and opened it wide open for John Henry White. You see Zambiazzi quite possibly coming in the left side of your screen. They just release him and dump the football off to John Henry White. What a great job of running he does after he gets the football. Ron Robinson got a little block for him, number 16.
Good pursuit by Ezrins, but he just couldn't catch up to him. Falls into the end zone, the major score. That's the 4th touchdown of the year for John Henry White, but the first one he's managed to pick up as a pass receiver. But he ran a long way with that one.
You know, for years he was in the shadow of Larry Key and used primarily as a blocker, but John Henry knows what to do with that football when he gets it. 66 yards. There we go. Let's sing that.
All right. Pancratz do the holding for Bisaglia, and he converts the touchdown by John Henry White. The BC Lions have jumped in front of the Hamilton Tiger Cats 24-0 with 12:04 remaining in the first half. We'll be back in just a moment.
On that touchdown, watch Ben Zambiasi, number 31. John Henry White back here. Ben Zambiasi comes up and blitzes from the outside, and John Henry picks him up just a little bit, releases him immediately, and there's no linebacker to cover White behind him. John Henry does a great job getting downfield afterward, and a penalty call against the Ticats in the end zone will have the Lions kicking off from the Ticat 50-yard line now.
It's 24-0 here for BC. Early in the fourth quarter at Taylor Field in Regina, Calgary leading Saskatchewan 32-11. That's the same score they beat them by earlier in the year. Short kickoff. The Lions have got it. Darnell Clash made contact with the football at the 34-yard line.
Is that a perfect kick or not?
It is BC Lions football. Bisaglia with a great kick. Lots of height on it, and it gave Clash time to get down there.
Oh, he put it right in his pocket. Great kick by Lou Bisaglia, and what field position for the Lions. They lead 24-0. 11:48 remains in this first half, and I think the Lions are going after the Winnipeg record of scoring points. 65 of them Friday night against the Ottawa Rough Riders. There's Darnell Clash, number 1, new rookie cornerback's done an excellent job in his first year with the Lions.
DeWalt going for the 6. Fernandez, the intended receiver, working against Les Brown. And Brown was back there, and there's just no way Fernandez was going to get behind him to get to that football.
Well, he did a really good job, Dale, of using his body to screen Fernandez. He made Fernandez slow down. Watch this. Fernandez would have had to run over him right about there. They're always concerned about Fernandez's jumping ability because he can get way up, get that football. First down, a little bit lopsided. 13-1.
Second and 10 BC. The ball at the Hamilton 31.5-yard line. Pancratz, first down BC. He made the catch in front of Felix Wright and then just turned it upfield, stayed in bounds for the first down. We have a penalty marker in the offensive backfield, possibly a late hit. No, it looks like they're going to wipe out the gain by Pancratz. DeWalt was a little slow getting up.
Well, that was good pressure by Rod Stillman in there, number 59 on DeWalt. Pancratz did a good job of knowing where that first down marker was. Do it again. It'll be 2nd and 20 now.
I believe the call was on Glenn Leonard, number 54, the right guard. So it's 2nd down and 20. DeWalt has only missed twice this afternoon. Good protection this time, finding Ned Armour in the middle at about the 28-yard line. Tackled immediately. He's short of the first down. Zambiasi making the hit. So the field goal unit comes in.
Boy, DeWalt looks sharp, though, doesn't he? Good throw.
Good protection that time, Frank. Roy has been a little jittery here, though.
He has. He's had those nervous feet from time to time in this season, but obviously that injury is of some concern to him. Put him in really good field goal range, though, now.
35-yard attempt for Bisaglia. Penalty marker down. Kick is wide to the right. That's Fields in the end zone. He'll give up a single point on it, but we'll see what the flag is at the line of scrimmage.
Louis doesn't agree with the call.
He's saying that was good.
Ever see a field goal kicker that didn't argue a little bit?
Offside Hamilton. Now, what do the Lions do? It'll be 3rd down and maybe 2 yards to go, but that's about all.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if they go for it here. Looks like the fellow at the bottom of your screen there is lined up offside. I couldn't pick out exactly who that was, Dale, but it's a
third down and less than 2 yards to go, and they're going to go for another field goal attempt. This from the 30-yard line. The hold by Pankratz, and it is good this time. So the Lions increase their lead over the Tiger Cats 27-0. 9:58 remaining in the opening half at BC Place. Lions, of course, coming into the ball game with a record of 7-1. They've won their last 5 in a row. They haven't played for a couple of weeks because they had the bye last weekend. But they defeated Hamilton in their first meeting, 19-11 at Ivor Wynne. The last game the Lions played was a 15-4 hard-fought battle over the Calgary Stampeders. That's where their offense was being criticized for the lack of scoring, but they're making up for it here in the first half against Hamilton. Dieter Brocken, first down, is hit. The ball in the air is picked off by the Lions. I think it's Rick Klassen. Yeah. Hit again by James Parker, and Klassen got to it before the ball hit the turf.
What a game James Parker's had so far for the BC Lions. Rick Klassen running around there quite happy. I'm sure that that's Rick's first interception of his career.
I think he wants the ball, too. The referee says you can't have it right now.
Yeah, he should have forgotten the spike and taken it all with him.
Of course, Klassen is playing that end spot where Nick Hebler usually plays, and Hebler will be back in a couple of weeks. Big play by Klassen. Oh, they're looking for Ned Armour in the end zone.
Well, I'm certainly not going to criticize Ned Armour, but I really believe if that had been Mervyn Fernandez, it would have been 6 more on the board. There's James Parker, who's had a great afternoon. The BC Lion. He, of course, traded from the Edmonton Eskimos early this year. There was some concern that he was not signed to the BC Lion. He has come to terms with a long-term contract here. Just over the outstretched arms of Ned Armour. 13 quarterback sacks. That's enough to hit in today's game. Well, you already did, James.
Second down, 10 yards to go. BC at the Hamilton 32. The ball dumps it across the middle to John Henry White.
Might as well try that one again.
To the 25-yard line. He'll be 3 yards short of the first down. So Bisaglia is back in for another field goal attempt. Zambiazzi was in on the tackle once more. Again, it's 32-11. Calgary leading Saskatchewan in the fourth quarter at Taylor Field. That's the same score the Stampeders defeated the Rough Riders by in their first meeting of the season. This is a 32-yard attempt by Bisaglia. A little bit of a low snap, but Pankratz hits it, and it's wide to the right. Howard Fields gives up the single point, and Bisaglia a little disappointed now as he heads to the bench. We have 8:19 remaining in the second quarter. Lions lead it 28-0 over the Tiger Cats. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, the girls out in Vancouver have had a lot to cheer about here in the opening half. The Lions built up a 28-0 lead, and really, you could probably say they should have more.
Well, they had a few breaks early in this ball game in the first quarter, but they obviously have managed to take advantage of it. They put great pressure on Dieter Brock.
Dieter just really hasn't had a chance to get anything going. Very reminiscent of the 2 games he played in here last year, once as a Bomber, once as a Tiger Cat. That pass knocked down beautifully by Larry Crawford. And I mean, the ball is well thrown. Crawford just makes a great defensive play. What are you going to do about things like that?
Well, the only thing he could have done is maybe throw it just a little bit quicker. It was a great defensive play by Larry Crawford, who has led these BC Lions in interceptions every year since he's been here.
He has 28 in this is 4th season. The record for the club is 37. Brock is 2 out of 7 for 22 yards. He's had 1 intercepted. Johnny Shepard swinging out of the backfield makes the catch, but he is cut down shy of the 40-yard line by Darnell Clash.
Boy, that young guy's had a great first year with the BC Lions. Darnell Clash, number 1. He's going back now as a punt returner. Good speed, and Shepard just couldn't avoid that tackle. Once again, the Lions will get the football back with 7:33 remaining now in this first half. A 28-0 ball game.
Well, you see Crawford and Clash, the return men, awaiting the punt from Bernie Ruoff. Not a good one. Moving up quickly, Clash takes it at about the 37, starts back to his right, is brought down immediately. Pat Brady.
Great tackle.
Yep. Number 51, Pat Brady, second-year player from Western Ontario. Downfield quickly. 34-yard punt, loss of 5 on the play. Brady is a regular member of the special teams for the Tiger Cats. 6'1", 252, Pasaglia. On the far side now as the BC offense is back on the field. 7:10 remaining in the second quarter. The Lions first down from their own 33. DeWalt goes down, 36-yard line. Zambiazzi was there. Nobody open downfield.
Well, we mentioned before that Roy is not the mobile quarterback that he used to be, and he was a threat to run with the football early in his career, but because of those leg injuries that he suffered, he really isn't anymore. You see Zambiazzi coming up to make the stop. The game was only about 3 yards.
Second down and 7. Little stunning going on along the line for the Tiger Cats, and they get to DeWalt that time. Grover Covington came inside and gets the sack.
They did a great job of just spinning inside and out. You'll see Covington on that right side, number 77, moved to the inside. The tackle looping behind him. Covington is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Tulumu, but I should say he was slowed down. He was obviously not stopped.
Covington, the team leader, with 10 sacks coming into this ball game. Chuck up a big one for him right there.
I think he and Greg Marshall of the Ottawa Rough Riders have the most sacks of any down lineman in the Canadian Football League. Most of your sack leaders are those stand-up linebackers. Hill in Edmonton, and Parker here.
Jones, Winnipeg. First punt by Pasaglia. Lucas Crawford knocks it out of bounds. Ball bouncing crazily, and Woodward wasn't about to try and handle it there. He just directed it out of touch. 43-yard punt by Pasaglia. We have 5.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Indoors at AC Place Stadium.
Great game. Number 1.
The universal greeting.
Yeah, right. 28-0 lead for the hometown Lions. Tiger Cats with the ball near their 37. Brock to Keith Baker, threw that one behind him a little bit. Baker curling inside, working against Mel Bird, number 10.
This is turning out to be a bit of a horror story weekend for visiting Eastern teams. I was just calculating in the interlocking games, it stands at 127-58 for the West right now.
You know, Dale made the comment Friday night that early in the year we anticipated much more of a balance East and West in interlocking play, but it just hasn't turned out that way, Dale.
That's right.
Coming into this one, the West, I believe, it won 14 against the East. We're watching Dieter Brock doing some things he's not known for, and that's running around with the football. Throws incomplete to Rocky DiPietro. But Dieter did a heck of a job of staying on his feet and getting the pass away.
He certainly bought himself some time, didn't he?
DiPietro, the intended receiver, who is now the all-time leading receiver in Tiger Cat history.
You know your offense is in trouble, though, when Dieter's scrambling around back there like this. Avoiding quite a few people. They're going to have to punt it away once again.
We'll see more of that now.
End over end kick this time from Ruoff, moving up to take it as Clash from the 32. Hit from behind and brought down. Ross Francis making the tackle. There's a penalty flag upfield from where the tackle was made. A 41-yard punt. and a return of 4 yards. Holding is the call against the Lions, so they'll move the ball a little deeper into BC territory. March it off from the 37, and they'll spot the ball at the BC 27. Call from referee Larry Rohan.
BC 31, first down.
That's Kevin Konar, linebacker for BC. Penalized.
Having a great year, Kevin Konar. 6 feet, 212 pounds.
DeWalt looking for Ron Robinson, number 16. Former Calgary Stampeder, former Saskatchewan Roughrider, former Montreal Concord. Was all CFL last year, playing towards the end of the season with Montreal. And Joe Galat decided he just wasn't putting out the way he should have been and let him go. And now he's playing with the Lions. I believe this is his 3rd game with BC.
Well, he doesn't look really fast, Bill, but he has some deceptive speed. Big, long strider, as we were talking about before. And a great big target. Look at that total offense.
2nd and 10. Down the middle, Pankratz almost made the catch reaching behind him, but thanks to the timely hit by Felix Wright, the 28, he breaks up the play. It wouldn't have been a first down at that point anyway. It's 3rd and 10, so Pasaglia will be back into punt. And now the BC offense has cooled off considerably since the way they opened the ball game. Their first play from scrimmage. Huge completion from DeWalt to Fernandez. They took it in from there. DeWalt getting the touchdown to go up 7-0. They now lead it 28-0. We're getting late in the 2nd quarter. Pasaglia, the 2nd leading punter in the CFL, average-wise, coming in 46.5 yards a kick, and he hangs this one high. Crawford backed up all the way to his 28-yard line. Straight up the field. Rufus Crawford is finally cut down by Kevin Konar near the 50-yard line. Crawford bringing that one back 21 yards after a punt of 55.
Boy, just an excellent return by Crawford, and one of the few times in this ball game the Hamilton Ticats will have good field position, try to get something going offensively. As you saw just a moment ago, they've got a net offensive performance today of 10 yards so far.
Runbacks like that one. And Rufus Crawford, the punt return leader in the CFL. Peter Brock into the middle, intended for Wayne Lee, number 17. And Andre Jones was providing the coverage. He had his stride on Jones.
Jackson putting the big pressure on Brock that time.
Just going to say Tyrone Cruz was also in the vicinity. The score is 28-0 for the Lions over Hamilton. And we'll be back in just a moment. Rigney and Al McCann and the entire CTV crew at BC Place Stadium with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining until halftime. And the Lions out in front of Hamilton 28-0. And Rufus Crawford, following that punt return, getting his right ankle retaped. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Tiger Cats. The ball near their own 50.
That's been one of the busiest guys in Hamilton. Ray Jones, the trainer.
You're absolutely right.
He's had his job cut out for him.
Only 3 completions so far for Dieter Brock. He's been facing a lot of heat at BC defense. Looking for Keith Baker against Darnell Clash. Who are they calling? Baker, I think. I'm sure they are calling Baker, and he broke up the play anyway. Clash did.
I certainly don't think they could have called Clash. Clash did an excellent job defensively. Number 1 working against number 1.
I don't believe it. They are calling Clash. Well, Clash is coming over and saying, he pushed me.
I'd like to see that again.
Defensive pass interference. BC number 1, first down.
Well, maybe it happened before our attention got down there, because Clash did a great job of knocking the football away. Watch it. I can't see any interference there. Oh, well. Hamilton needs a break.
And they got one now. First down from the 26, quickly for Rocky DiPietro. Pass goes incomplete.
Take a look at it again, close up. Where is the interference?
You couldn't really call either one of them. Second down and 10 now for Hamilton.
Safety blitz.
Ron Johnson. Ball thrown out of bounds. Actually, Johnson did a pretty good move. As you take a look at Crazy George, Johnson with a good move against Daniel Clash.
Started up right there, and you'll see Nelson Martin come into your screen, number 4. Stop it there. The safety blitz, and it gave the BC Lions man-to-man coverage against Hamilton, but there's a lot of traffic back in there. Dieter just overthrew the football.
So Bernie Ruoff will try a 33-yard field goal attempt with the backup quarterback, Jeff Tedford, number 9, doing the holding. Lions will rush 11 men. The kick by Ruoff is good, so the Tiger Cats are on the board now with 2:28 remaining in the second quarter. 28-3. So far today, Peter Brock's been good on 3 of 12. Roy DeWalt, 11 out of 16. DeWalt, of course, has a couple of touchdown passes.
Dale, Dieter Brock continues to be haunted by British Columbia Place.
Yeah, he had a couple of rough games here last year, didn't he? Dieter came in here last year. The first game in here, he was a member of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the second time he came in, he was a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and he was a loser on both occasions, 44-6 and 41-16, respectively.
Well, you know, he's been picked off a lot this year, too, as well, Dale, but every coach in the Canadian Football League dreads playing against him because they know what he's capable of doing when he gets that arm cranked up.
Good run back here by Darnell Clash, who takes it out to the 48-yard line. 35-yard return for Clash. And good field position now for the BC offense. And we have 2:20 remaining in the second quarter. I think Darnell is still a little unhappy over that interference call against him a moment ago.
I don't know who that is.
I hope they flash the answer up.
Is that for real or is that a soap opera?
David Tulumu, the ball carrier. Mitchell Price made the tackle. Good running by Tulumu. And he takes it out to midfield for a pickup of close to 7 yards on the play. Cruz and Klassen come in on short yardage, replacing Pankratz and Armour.
It's a little long, I think, second and 3.5. Bring that team in.
It's second down and about 3 for the Lions. Tulumu into the middle of the line. Oh, he's got a first down as he's running hard.
They said he was tough.
Boy, he's 5'11", 190, but he runs like a 220-pounder, Frank.
Well, we said early in the ball game that he is not known as a great runner with the football, but a very tough blocker, good pass catcher. But man, I think I'd give it to him on short yardage.
Another first down for BC. Tulumu averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Fernandez. Got a block from Ron Robinson and scooted down the sidelines, but he stepped out at the 32. Nevertheless, it's enough for a first down. And a pickup by Mervyn Fernandez of about 16 yards on the play.
I'll tell you, you just don't want to play him too close, but they gave him an awful lot of room this time.
Tried to lull Brown to sleep there, and then Ron Robinson came in and picked Brown off.
As you can see, Brown didn't even come into your picture until after Fernandez's run with the ball for about 5 yards.
Right there, he stepped out of bounds with his left foot. It's first down, Lions. Good protection for DeWalt, looking for Fernandez. He's got, it's knocked away. I thought Mervyn had his second touchdown of the ball game, and momentarily he had the football, but Les Brown appeared to strip him of the ball.
What a great throw by Roy DeWalt. Right there. I think that's right. I think Brown knocked it out with his right hand as Fernandez was bringing the ball in. Boy, Roy has looked sharp today. Johnny Matthews and his ball club are putting to bed the rumors that this ball club cannot score. 28-3 with 1:30 remaining in the first half.
Second down and 10. DeWalt for Pancratz, he overthrew him, and DeWalt had to get rid of that ball in a hurry because finally getting pressure on him was Mitchell Price, who put him on the ground. So once more, we're going to see Louis Bisaglia, and here in the second quarter, the BC offense has not been as effective.
Roy talking to his receivers downfield, and that's something BC Lion fans don't want to see, an injured Merv Fernandez.
A 39-yard attempt by Bisaglia. It is now a 31-3 ball game in favor of the Lions. 1:23 remaining until the halftime break. The ice pack now on the right wrist or hand of Mervin Fernandez. He had a toe injury earlier this season, which kept him out of one game, and he was hobbled considerably by that injury for a couple of other games. And coming up this 2-week break, I'm sure Mervin is close to as 100% as he can get.
I think this whole ball club, the BC Lions, are very healthy, Dale, at this point in time.
Oh, Dieter just got rid of that football in a hurry. Greg Nola made the catch. He was tackled by Konar, but it was Glenn Jackson from the backside who was thundering in on Dieter, and he put the hit on him just as he released the football for a pickup of about 1 yard. It's a lot of punishment for the quarterback to take for a gain of 1. Here's second down and 9. Keith Baker, the intended receiver. Darnell Clash cut in front of him and may have distracted him enough to force the incompletion. And it's third down on Hamilton. Baker unhappy about something Clash did. This will be Bernie Ruoff's 7th punt of the first half. Crawford. Straight up the field. That's the way you like to see people return those punts. He gets it back to the 49-yard line. And Crawford brings that one back 12 yards after a punt of only 37 yards by Ruoff. So with 1:02 left in the second quarter, the Lion offense back on the field. And let's see, is Fernandez in the ball game? No, he isn't. Jacques Chapdelaine, number 71, has replaced Fernandez. The ball into the middle. Ron Robinson tried to snare that one, but he lost it. It comes up, pushing Leo Ezrins.
I think that Robinson's going to get the penalty against him. I didn't see Ezrins do anything to him, but obviously he did irritate Robinson, who a bit upset with himself, dropping the football. As you look at Fernandez once again on the bench, I think taking him out of the ball game was more of a precautionary measure than a necessary one at this point in time. Just 58 seconds remain now in this first half.
We've got a 15-yarder being marched off here against the Lions.
Major foul, BC 16, unnecessary roughness, second down.
As you look at this play again, it's not surprising that Ron Robinson would be involved in something with Hamilton, because he had some very uncomplimentary things to say about Mark Streeter after the last time these two clubs played. Streeter, of course, is the starting safety here this afternoon for Hamilton. Second down at 25, John Henry White. David Sobey, number 88. Zambiazzi also got a piece of the ball carrier. So it'll be third down as White picked up maybe 5 yards. That's about all. 20 yards to go now, and it's another punting situation. So offensively, things have kind of ground to a halt here in the last 7 minutes or so. Head coach Al Bruno.
Very likable guy.
Sure is. says if he had some healthier ball players, it'd be a much better football club, and I'd have to agree with him. They've got some talent on this club.
I like his attitude. He says, you know, Otto and Montreal are both waiting for us up there in front of us, but we haven't been able to put it together to catch him. They only need one win to move into second place in the Eastern Division of the CFL. We'll have those Ottawa Rough Riders in Mann Stadium next Friday night on the full CTV network. Sam Peters, at last report, leading the Saskatchewan Rough Riders to try and stay along the pace for a playoff spot in the West.
Yeah, the loser of that one in big trouble in the West. Saglia, a little bit off the side of his foot. On the return for Hamilton is Howard Fields, and he is stopped immediately by Kevin Kodar. You talked about him earlier, Frank. 38-yard punt, no return. Kodar making the tackle.
I think he's an excellent football player, very mobile. They used to take him out on passing situations, but he's improved his pass coverage extremely well.
Well, Team Canada came up big last night, as everybody was hoping they would. They got some offense rolling, won at 7-2, clinched a playoff spot tomorrow night. They take on the Soviets. Note the start time, 10:30 Eastern. Live from Edmonton on the full CTV network, Canada Cup action. Keith Baker on the receiving end of this Dieter Brock pass, and he's tackled immediately by Mel Bird near first down yardage at the 45. Of course, tomorrow it's the windup of the round-robin portion of the Canada Cup. Then they get on to playoff action starting Wednesday. Canada could finish second or could finish fourth, depending on what the Canadian squad does tomorrow against the Soviets. But we know the four teams for sure that'll be in the playoffs. Soviets, Canada, USA, and Sweden. Dieter Brock goes down. James Parker and Rick Klassen met at the quarterback. The 37-yard line.
Well, if Dieter just needs an extra second to look downfield, he's not getting it this afternoon. The Lions, great pressure. Schultz that Klassen beat on the play, number 67, left offensive tackle. And Rick Klassen's another BC Lion that's had a big year, number 90.
With second down and long, that ball was tipped as he tried to dump it off to Mark Bragagnola. James Parker rushing from the left side, I think got a hand on it.
Watch Bragagnola now, he's number 22. Parker is right there. He grabs Parker by the jersey and tries to slow him down a little bit. Watch this. We have time to get his concentration back to make the reception. This may be the last play of the first half. 11 seconds now showing on the clock.
And I'm sure as the clock will not start, we still have 11 seconds, so depending on how long this punting takes to be put into action. Good kick by Ruoff this time, driving Crawford back inside the 20, back to the 15 where he has a little bit of trouble with it. Brings it out to the 22 with 1 second remaining. 58-yard punt by Ruoff and a 7-yard return, and the Lions will have time for one more play before the end of the first half. It's been all BC here, and they are 1 second away from making it 12 consecutive quarters without giving up a touchdown against their defense. The last time the Lions had a major scored against them was by the Ottawa Rough Riders on August 11th. As mentioned earlier, the record is 13 straight quarters. That was set by Calgary back in 1954.
Well, there's Nick Kepler, you see on the sideline there, the fellow with the glasses around his neck. He's been missing from that defensive unit over the last 3 or 4 weeks, but he'll be back early in October. As I mentioned before, bad news for the rest of the offenses in the CFL.
Lions were called for holding. So they're back at their 8.5-yard line for one last play before the half ends, and that'll do it. The Waltons grounds for football. So the BC fans have to be a little happier now with the offense here in British Columbia, because the Lions built up a 31-3 lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. In a moment, yesterday in the CFL with Joe Resnick.
Now he may be going after it again.
Kickoff by Bernie Ruoff. Goes out of bounds. And he'll have to do it all over again. It's a 31-3 score in favor of the Lions, as they look well on their way to their 6th consecutive victory. Their only loss so far this year was to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 25-3.
Don't get right in front of me. He's trying to bang it up so
And
hard.
of course, Winnipeg will close out the regular season here in Vancouver on October 27th. And I know we mentioned it Friday night, Frank, but that's one we're all looking forward to.
Well, we'll bring that one to you right across the entire CTV network. There's a few going to be between now and then, but that's going to be a big one.
This time, Ruoff puts it out of bounds again at the 6-yard line. So Bernie will try it from the 35-yard line.
Well, had that ball stayed in, it was an excellent kick by Ruoff. Very difficult to handle.
Good job, David.
A concerned head coach, Al Bruno, middle of your screen, bending down now. Just as we talked about Friday night in Winnipeg, Dale, very difficult locker room scene at halftime when you trail by this kind of margin.
28-point difference right now in favor of the Lions. And Bernie puts this one deep into the end zone. And Talumu will have to give up a single point. So after twice putting it out of bounds, Ruoff backed up to the 35-yard line and put it in the end zone for a single point. 95-yard single. It's now a 31-4 ball game. Lions will take over offensively at their own 35-yard line. Mervyn Fernandez is back into the ball game. He splits off wide to the left. He suffered a cut on his right hand in the second quarter, but he is back. DeWalt going deep for Ned Armour, far side. Would have been a tough catch for Ned Armour, directly over his head. Long incompletion, second down.
I think DeWalt was actually looking for John Pankratz on a underneath pattern coming across there, but it's been good coverage by the Ticats. They've actually been fairly close to the receivers, but DeWalt has just thrown the ball super so far.
And of course, that BC defense has now gone 12 consecutive quarters without giving up a touchdown. 3 full ball games. They can hold on in this quarter. They'll tie a league record set by Calgary 30 years ago. The give is Talumu. Turns the corner, gets out to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. Leaving short of the first down by at least a yard. Zambiazian on the tackle.
That will cross up a few people. You don't see the CFL clubs running on 2nd and 10 very often. Fred Fleming out on the field now.
He'll do anything to get on camera, won't he? The BC punting unit comes in on 3rd down and a little bit over a yard to go. Crawford and Fields drop back deep. It's Howard Fields, number 16. He averages 8.9 yards every time he returns a punt. Low snap. Saglia gets it away, and it's a good one. Crawford on the return from the 18-yard line. Crawford averages 10.6 a return, but he won't get close to that this time. He managed to get it back to about the 24 for a return of 6 yards after a 49-yard punt by Saglia. We're early in the 3rd quarter, and Hamilton with the football for the first time in this second half as you look at West Division standings. Of course, the Blue Bombers in first place right now. Lions hoping to get back into that first place tie. Edmonton with a 4-point lead over Calgary in the battle for 3rd place, and unfortunately for Saskatchewan losing today, that is a costly one. May have eliminated them from any chance of making the playoffs. Johnny Shepard with the handoff from Dieter Brock, and it opens up for him along the sidelines. Good run by Johnny Shepard. They're going to rule. He stepped out of bounds back at the 49-yard line. Shepard finally brought down by Darnell Clash at the BC 28.
Well, this is an interesting play because Ross Francis, number 54, the left offensive guard, comes out to trap Glenn Jackson. You'll see him coming down the line of scrimmage. Jackson does such a great job of tightening down the hole that Shepard has to go outside, but it turns out to be a great move. Watch 37. That play was designed to go up inside of Jackson because of his efforts, and
right there he stepped out of bounds.
Shepard turned it into the outside. Great play.
It's a gain of 25 yards anyway, which is his longest run from scrimmage this season since returning to the lineup. Let's go to Al.
Well, I got Mervyn Fernandez down at bench level here. Merv, tremendous first half for you, but you injured that right hand. I hope it's not serious.
No, it's not serious at all. It just got hit by a helmet and went a little numb, something like a funny bone.
Hey, that was one heck of a catch on the first one, man. That was a kind of a foot race and then a jumping battle.
Yeah, sort of like a rebound on the basketball court, and I came down with it.
You're having a tremendous season. Your offense is really starting to perk again. That rest seems to have helped you guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of nagging injuries, and everybody's healed and healthy and ready to go, and we're going to do a lot better the second half.
Then your defense is having a great run. They've gone 12 quarters without yielding a touchdown. That sure helps, too.
The defense is really strong, and we're looking for them to get stronger, and the offense is going to get stronger, too. We'll be pretty tough come the finals and Grey Cup time.
I think you got that right, Murph.
Thank you.
Darnell Clash still hunched over. He made the tackle on Johnny Shepard way downfield. We'll have a bit of a delay here until he gets off the field. Here's a look at it. Johnny Shepard came down on top of Clash. Now Clash is just being helped off the playing field on this near side, which is the opposite side of the field of the BC bench, and they lay him down again.
Larry Crawford, number 28, normally the defensive back, I think will move to that corner spot now. And
Ed Jones comes in to play at a regular position with the injury. Dieter Brock is down again. Rick Klassen greeted him. Dieter with the semi-rollout didn't really even have time to set up and look downfield. Klassen was right on top of him.
Boy, there's nothing fancy here. Just a great rush by Klassen, number 90. You can see they're bringing Glenn Jackson down at the bottom of your screen. You'll watch Klassen come in there and just beats the offensive line. Stop it right there. You can see Ross Francis trying to pull out and come over there and help Dieter with protection, but Klassen just blows right by him. That's his second sack of this ball game. Came in with 3.5 for the season.
Klassen, 11 yards, second down and 21. Ball back near the 38. Brock down the middle to Mark Bragagnola. He's tackled immediately by Bernie Blair, number 7. It's a pickup of 15 yards for Bragagnola. It'll leave them 6 yards short of the first down. A punting situation coming up for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 11:40 remaining in the third quarter. Bragagnola. 15-yard gain, but not enough. Drew off in the punt.
I would think we'll see a quarterback change very shortly, Dale. Tim Collins has been warming up.
Bad snap. Bernie gets the kick away off the side of his foot. Helicopter-type ball, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line with Mel Bird, who replaced the injured Darnell Clash on the punt return. Watching it, the score is 31-4 for the Lions over the Tiger Cats. We'll be right back.
We don't give him any time. We don't feel like he can get the ball down the field, and if we do that, we'll be okay, and we'll be able to secure the record, hopefully.
That defense is looking awfully strong, and now your offense is starting to perk good, too.
Well, the thing is, they're moving the ball, and they're keeping us off the field, so we're well rested when we get back on.
You're going good, Rick. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Sean.
That's Darnell Clash now heading around the far end of the field. Injured earlier. Tim Cowan has replaced Roy DeWalt right off the bat. He goes deep for Ned Armour, just slightly overthrown.
You like that play. Same one they tried to hit Armour with a little earlier in this third quarter. There's 10:56 now remaining in the third quarter. It's 31-4 for the Lions. Those Cowan stats. Boy, this young guy had a great preseason.
He sure did. A lot of people around Vancouver were saying he should have been the starter when the season began.
You know, they were quieted fairly quickly when Roy DeWalt set a club record in the first game and broke it in the second. So.
Darnell Clash has gone directly to the Lions locker room, trying to get a report on him as soon as possible. Second down and 10 BC from the 36, with Tim Cowan replacing the starter Roy DeWalt with a big lead in favor of the Lions. Sips this one a little too high for the intended receiver Ned Armour.
Dale, regarding Darnell Clash, the initial report from the training staff is a suspected pulled hamstring. They hope it's not too severe, and they're hoping they can get him back in this football game. But as you reported, he has been taken to the dressing room area.
Thank you, Al. We have 10:33 left to go in the third quarter. Louis Pasaglia is in to punt. 31-4 is the score in favor of BC. The Lions have already had their 2 breaks in the schedule. They have to play 8 straight now to finish off the 84 regular season. Nice high kick by Pasaglia. Crawford on the return. Rufus gets it back up to the 35-yard line for a return of 9 yards off after a 48-yard punt. And he ran about 30 yards to get that 9. Coming up next weekend, more CFL action on CTV. The Friday night game will be at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, where the Stampeders, who are winners today, will host the Ottawa Rough Riders. 9 o'clock start Eastern Time. Then on Saturday, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will host these Hamilton Tiger Cats. 8 o'clock start Eastern Time. Both games on the full CTV network. Big pressure. Dumps it over the middle to Rocky DiPietro, and he cannot get away from Rick Klassen, number 90. He's not making the tackle in the backfield. He's making it very close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he was looking for that screen because his linebackers were all blitzing on the play. That's quite standard defensively to have one of those linemen check those backs out or receivers out. See whether that screen is a potential play. Gain was about 5.
Second down from the 40. Nobody open. Dieter finally goes deep for Keith Baker. He got him behind Mel Bird. And this will be the first touchdown against the BC Lion defense since August 11th, a 71-yard score. So the Lions' string of consecutive quarters without giving up a touchdown ends at 12.
I guess we shouldn't have brought it up.
I guess we jinxed them, fellas. I mentioned it to Rick Klassen. They were all aware of the record they were approaching, but that's how it goes. Bingo.
Well, Dieter is obviously not looking for Baker initially, and then when he does come over here, Baker was well behind Bird, as you see, and a great throw by Dieter Brock.
Mel Bird playing this corner in place of the injured Darnell Clash. And he gets beat for a 71-yarder by Keith Baker. For Baker, that's his second touchdown of the season. Tedford holds for Bernie Ruoff. Conversion kept is good. And with 8:57 remaining in the third quarter, it's BC 31, Hamilton 11. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Lucas Agnew, return of 3.
I'll tell you what, that was a great catch by Crawford just to get back there and make the reception.
I want to remind folks in Ontario some junior football action coming up. Next weekend, Oshawa Hawkeyes against the Burlington Braves, 1 o'clock. Windsor AKO against the Hurricanes in Hamilton at 2 o'clock. Ottawa Sooners will play the Montreal Junior Concords at 2 o'clock. It's Ontario junior football action next Saturday, September the 15th. And we now have a penalty being marched off against the Hamilton Tiger Cats following that punt.
First down.
Holding the call, but there's no player identified. So it's first down, Tiger Cats at their own 9-yard line. 31-11 lead for BC. We have 7 minutes remaining third quarter. Johnny Shepard takes that inside handoff from Dieter Brock. Got to about the 10 for a gain of 1. With James Parker, Rick Klassen, Turkus, Cruz. They're all there to stack it up. Second down And a little less than 9 to go.
Darnell Class has returned to the BC lineup defensively at that left corner spot, number 1. That's where they got burnt by this man, Dieter Brock. 71-yard strike for Keith Baker.
DiPietro makes the catch, working against Andre Jones. Jones makes the tackle, goes him out of bounds, 25-yard line, a pickup of 15 yards. Andre Jones coming into the ball game with 3 interceptions on the season. He's a 27-year-old 6-year pro at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Crawford, Baker, and DiPietro all on one side now, but they choose to run the football. There's the fumble.
James Parker has got it at the 30-yard line. Ball goes over to the BC Lions, and James Parker comes up with it. The score, Lions 31, Tiger Cats 11. We'll be right back. James Parker, certainly a candidate for Carling O'Keefe Defensive Star of this football game. He recovers this fumble by Bragagnola.
Was Klassen once again knocking that football loose. He's had quite a game.
Ball goes over to the Lions at the Hamilton 30-yard line.
You know, Frank, excuse me, fellas, but of all the defensive players on the BC Lions, I think the most unheralded one is Rick Clausen. Always does a good job.
Cowan looking for Fernandez at the goal line. It's picked off by Gerald Best in the end zone, and he's going to bring it back. Penalty marker is down. Gerald Best running to open territory, hit from behind by Ned Armour.
I believe that the Ticats, Mitchell Price, number 65, is going to be called for an illegal block all the way back to the Ticat 20-yard line. 72 yards on the return. Best making up for getting burnt in the first half of this ball game. May be able to pick this up on the replay as Gerald Best turns around about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Watch for 65. He's right there.
Right there.
Well,
looked like Taluma was the nanny block, wasn't it?
No question about the block being illegal as well. So the Ticats do get the turnover, but they'll have very, very poor field position.
That wipes out a 72-yard return by Gerald Best. But for Best, it
illegal
is.
block, Hamilton 65, first down.
Mitchell Price is the one who is penalized. That is the 7th interception of the season for Best. I believe that ties him with Ken Haley, doesn't it?
A great job running this football back. Unfortunately for Ticat fans, the play is called back to their own 15-yard line.
First down for Hamilton now as Dieter Brock runs into trouble again. James Parker was out there. And then he got a whole bunch of help. Back at the 10.
Well, there isn't any question. That's the best pass defense in the world. Get to that quarterback.
See, Randy Fournier, number 63, is into the ball game at tackle, replacing the starter Ron Churkas.
Keep Dieter inside. Parker working against DiPietro, trying to block him.
Then he got help from Mac Moore to put Brock down. This is Grampy taking the handoff from Brock. He gets it back out to the 12-yard line for a pickup of 2 yards. That'll leave the Tiger Cats third down and 13 yards to go. Only the 11th time this year that Grampy has been the ball carrier for the Tiger Cats. Ruoff will have to punt from near the goal line. And this is the 10th time Bernie's had to kick today. As you look at Grampy. And now Ruoff. Flash back into the ball game, as Frank told you. And he's one of the return men for the Lions, along with Mel Bird. Standing on their own side of midfield, and it's a good thing because it's a nice kick by Ruoff. And Bird takes it from his own 48-yard line. And Graffy is downfield to make the tackle on him. A 50-yard kick and a 7-yard return.
Both of these punters have had big days, haven't they? They've boomed it.
Well, they're the two leading punters average-wise in the Canadian Football League. Bernie, the leader, coming in at 47.3 yards per kick, and Louis Pasaglia right behind at 46.5 yards. And this afternoon, Ruoff is averaging 43 yards, a mite low. He had a couple of short ones in there. And Pasaglia is averaging 47.4. Attendance this afternoon at BC Place, 34,630. It's the smallest crowd of the season for the Lions, possibly the smallest since they moved into the stadium.
I think it is, Dale. And you know, unbelievable, but it's a beautiful day here in Vancouver once again. Every day they play inside the Dome. They had great weather outside.
You know for sure if we're at Empire, it'd be raining, right?
That's right. John Henry White dropping that one. Larry Cowan, I should say Tim Cowan, coming to this ball game at quarterback, has not been able to move offensively since he replaced Roy DeWalt. First time he's thrown to anybody but Armour, isn't it? Just about.
Second time, I think. And it's the second time he's thrown to John Henry. From midfield, second down and 10. Cowan to Armour. He finds him this time. And Armour just barely has the first down. As he kept running back towards the line of scrimmage, he gave up about 4 yards before Zambiazzi finally hauled him down. And we have a couple of injured ball players. Both of them Tiger Cats, although Zambiazzi is back on his feet.
Right on the mark that time by Cowan.
He caught the ball at the 40-yard line, tackled at the 44. But he did get enough for the first down.
Cowan in his second year with the BC Lions.
Oh, yes. Leo Ezrins.
Shoulder injury, you would suspect. Watch number 72 in on the tackle. Ezrins, of course, a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber. And these Hamilton Ticats have quite active linebackers. You see two of them right there, Zambiazzi and Ezrins.
And, of course, they're without John Priestner. Ezrins heads off the field now. We have 3:26 remaining in the third quarter, and the total offensive story this afternoon. First for the Lions at 292 and Hamilton 136. And again, the Lions built up most of that in the first 20 minutes of the ballgame.
Well, DeWalt threw for 276 yards in the first 30 minutes, so they really haven't done much in this third quarter.
Quickly to Pankratz. He just didn't look quite soon enough for the football and couldn't react to it when he finally did turn around. Second down.
You've got to believe that Cowan audibled into that. Saw the linebackers playing off the receivers, try to hit him very quickly. Zambiazzi there in the middle did not get out in time, but Pankratz should have made the reception.
Second down and 10 from the 44. Cowan goes down. The ball's loose. John Blaine gets it for the Lions. Big rush on Cowan from Mitchell Price, Grover Covington. And when they hit him, that ball came loose.
Well, that young guy got slammed there, didn't he?
Sure did.
Whoa.
Well, it's third down.
John Blaine made the recovery. It was Covington that seemed to get there first. Very little offense here in the third quarter by either ball club, with the exception, of course, that 71-yard strike from Dieter Brock to Keith Baker for the only major the Ticats have been able to come up with this afternoon.
Big rush. Segre gets it away. Rufus Crawford, the CFL's leading punt returner, has it. He goes down in a hurry, and once more, Kevin Konar, number 31, is the first man downfield and stops him at the 22-yard line. Rufus, taking a pounding that time, returned it 6 yards after a 39-yard punt. We have 2 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. 31-13 in favor of the Lions of the Tiger Cats, and the next home game is in a couple of weeks' time. The Tiger Cats will play in Winnipeg next weekend, and Sunday, September 23rd, 1:30 start at Ivor Wynn. They'll host the Calgary Stampeders. Ron Johnson, the wide receiver, cleared the area, and Dave Graffy coming underneath was open. Just couldn't squeeze the football. And I guess that 23rd date is Burlington Day in Hamilton, is it not, Frank?
It is that, Dale. There will be a number of dignitaries from that Ontario city, and they'll have some civic activities going on at halftime, as well as honoring the Boy Scouts from across Canada. The Cubs and Scouts from across Southern Ontario will be in attendance that day. All of it starts at 1:30. That's September 23rd at Ivor Wynn Stadium.
Brock in the shotgun formation on 2nd and 10. Trying to buy a little more time, but he doesn't. James Parker is there again, back at the 15-yard line. And that entire front four of the Lions, including Randy Fournier, who's into the ball game now, was right on top of Peter.
So Parker is hurt just a bit. They did a pretty good job of blocking Parker. Well, watch it as he comes on this pattern to the inside. They stop him pretty good right there. Then he just keeps going. Got that great second effort.
Parker shaken up on the play. That's sack number 5 for the Lions this afternoon.
You know, I think that trade that brought James Parker to the BC Lions has really been great for both clubs, not just the BC Lions, but the Edmonton Eskimos as well. We got 2 young Canadian fellows who have done a good job for them, particularly Dorian, who's their safety.
Frank
right up there,
the linebacker. Laurent Delorier. A couple of good young Canadians.
An unusual scene to see Parker down on the field. He's not a fellow that has been hurt very much, and he's been around the league, it seems like an awful long time. It's about his 4th year, but he's only 5th year, I guess it is. He's only 26 years old. Seems like he's been around an awful lot longer than that.
Well, Hamilton was looking at those Eastern Division standings coming into this ball game, and they're saying, hey, if we can sneak one here, we're in 2nd place in the East. Unfortunately for them, it's been BC's day. Darnell Clash awaiting the punt by Bernie Ruoff.
Back there by himself this time. Both of these clubs have put big pressure on the opposing punters from time to time.
They haven't had a kick blocked yet today. And Ruoff gets the beauty away this time. Clash backing up to his own 39. And he gets it back to near midfield. Steve Kearns, number 34, was in on the tackle. 56-yard punt and a return of 14 yards. The Lions first and 10 from their own 54.
Pat Brady, the offensive center that Crawford goes after. It's not always a lot of fun to be snapping that ball back there.
Little wrestling match going. Come on, Larry, pin him. Looks like that's what he was trying to do.
2 out of 3 balls, isn't it?
Fumble. Who's got it? Delumu did not get the ball from quarterback Tim Cowan, and looks like the Lions got it back again. Ron Robinson maintains possession for BC.
Gord Elser does a good job of hitting Delumu. Right there, no chance for the back to make the recovery. Well, they're trying to get the BC Lions going a little bit. They haven't done much offensively since early in the second quarter, but they do have a 31-11 lead.
And this will be the final play of the third quarter. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. BC just inside Hamilton territory. Ron Robinson does not pick up a first down. And again, we have Robinson a little upset at the Hamilton defensive back. And that was Felix Wright who bumped him out of bounds. And the gun sounds to end the third quarter here at BC Place, with BC leading it 31-11 over Hamilton. We'll return with the fourth quarter in just a moment. We're back for the fourth quarter here at BC Place with Louis Pasaglia punting on 3rd down and 4. BC at the Hamilton 50-yard line. Crawford and Fields are the return men. Pasaglia puts this one into the end zone. Crawford will give up the single point. It's now 32-11 in favor of the Lions as Pasaglia punts a 55-yard single.
Well, the hard hitting is starting to take a bit of a toll. There's Leo Ezrins, veteran linebacker of the Tiger Cats. He has a bruised shoulder. Probably won't play anymore tonight. On the other side of the field, Quick Parker was kind of knocked around a little bit. He injured his neck. He said he just got a bit of a kink and a bit of a nerve spasm, but he's going to go back into the ball game.
BC Lions did not pick up a first down in the third quarter with Tim Cowan at the controls. Right now, we're in the fourth quarter, early. Dieter Brock, first down for 35. The pitch to Johnny Shepard. Shepard turned the corner and put his head down to take it out to the 38-yard line for a pickup of 3 yards. And again, most of that yardage the Lions accumulated in the first half, and well, all of it in the first half, really. But really, it was the first 20 minutes or so.
That's right, except early in the second quarter. Last really big play today, that was John Henry White on that screen.
Here comes the blitz. Kevin Konar on top of Dieter Brock. Well, they had 2 guys blitzing in the same spot, and there was only one blocker there, and the blocker took Nelson Martin, and that freed up Kevin Konar to make the sack on Brock.
Kevin's just had an outstanding game defensively. You see him right there, number 31. He'll come up the middle. Along with Nelson Martin, they brought a defensive back, and Johnny Shepard had to take a choice. He couldn't block them both. Konar was all-Canadian in 1978, 79. On his way for that honor again, maybe.
There's the punt by Bernie. Another good kick. Flash back at the 28-yard line. Uh-oh. Look out. Wow, I think he's gone.
How bad was that hamstring pull, Bill?
Darnell Class takes it 83 yards for the touchdown.
What a rookie year this young guy's had. Well, Rocky DiPietro shows a pretty good turn of speed here. Almost catches up with Class. Watch him, number 23.
Bernie Ruoff, the last man back, had fallen down. Flash puts it in the end zone. 83 yards. Pancratz holds for Pasaglia. The BC Lions increase their lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's now 39-11, 13 minutes left. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're having a sensational season. Continue the good work.
Thanks a lot.
Andre Jones made the tackle on Rufus Crawford. 15-yard kickoff return for the Tiger Cats. The ball now at their own 17-yard line. Here's a look at Andre, number 32.
Well, he used that good speed to get right down there and beat the blocking, and the Ticats will start from inside their own 20.
That was an 83-yard punt return by Clash for the touchdown. Not the longest punt return this year. Dwight Edwards of Ottawa had that, a 96-yarder back in July, and he did not get into the end zone on that one either. From the shotgun. Crawford across the middle, and he gets it out to about the 24. Pickup of 6 yards.
Once again, Dieter Brock goes down after releasing that football, and it was Klassen, I guess.
Boy, he's had a long afternoon, hasn't he?
Oh,
Even if he does get the pass away, you know somebody's going to be there to knock him around a little bit.
It's a good thing Dieter's as strong as he is. Physically one of the strongest quarterbacks we'll ever see.
He's been sacked 6 times. But I think he's been hit on every play. Here's 2nd down and 4. Brock dumps it off to Graffy down the middle, and he should have a 1st down at the 35-yard line.
Well, Graffy dropped one on Brock a little earlier this quarter, and he made a fine catch there. Pick up a 1st down, get it a little bit out of your own end.
Coming into the ball game, Dieter led the CFL in pass attempts, completions, and the one he would rather forget about, interceptions. He's had 1 picked off by the Lions this afternoon. He's given up 18 interceptions this year. Baker almost looked like he misjudged that football a little bit.
I think he slowed down a little bit.
2nd and 10.
Dieter getting a little more time to throw the football now, although the Lions did bring their linebackers that time and get pretty good protection. 11:27 now remains in this ball game. It's 39-11 for the Lions, who will move back into a first-place tie with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the Western Division of the CFL, and also have a game in hand.
Circus with the pressure. Ball's loose.
Football.
Penalty markers down. And once more, there's 4 or 5 Lions. Pressure holding call against Hamilton.
Well, just when we say Dieter's getting a little more time to throw the ball, they come in with a storm.
Hamilton 54, Klein, 3rd down.
I was surprised there on that obvious passing situation that he didn't go back to the standard set. He didn't stay in the shotgun.
Might as well. He seems to get a little more time to throw the ball. Here they come. Cherkis was the first one to put pressure on him, but I think Moore will probably be credited with the sack along with Parker.
Once more for Bernie Ruoff. Punt number 13 this afternoon. Melvin Bird at the 40-yard line. This time, the Tiger Cats' Wayne Lee is downfield quickly to hold the return to 2 yards after a 41-yard punt. It's a 39-11 score in favor of the Lions over the Tiger Cats. We'll be back to BC Place in just a moment. 10:35 remaining, 4th quarter at the stadium in BC Place. Downtown Vancouver, where the Lions have a big lead over the Tiger Cats, 39-11.
A lot to cheer about by the pretty young ladies of the BC Lions.
Tolumo, number 27, takes the handoff from Tim Cowan, gets to the 45-yard line for a pickup close to 4 yards on the play. Price is in on the tackle.
The scoreboard just posed a very interesting question. Is Crazy George related to Boy George?
Slips a tackle by Mark Streeter. There's a penalty flag down.
I think it's going to be face mask.
There may be some words exchanged here again as Mark Streeter tried to go high on Ron Robinson. He did that earlier this season, and it caused a lot of bad feeling.
Boy, just a great job by the BC Lions of picking up the blitz by the Ticats. Ben Zambiazzi coming from the middle there. Gave Cowan time to deliver that football. That penalty will be against the Ticats again.
Unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 20. Whoa, 1st down.
That's the first down Tim Collins been able to generate since he came in replacing Roy DeWalt here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, they've only put 1 major on the board in this half. Of course, that was Flash's punt return.
1st down, BC from the Hamilton 26. Trapped the lane. The intended receiver, number 71. He's in there as an inside receiver.
May see a quarterback change with the Hamilton Ticats as well, as Jeff Tedford is warming up on the sideline.
Jeff Tedford, number 9. This is his second game as the backup to Dieter Brock. You see Ron Johnson helping to loosen up Tedford. Tedford has not thrown a pass in a game yet this year. This is only his second game in uniform as the backup, replacing Pete Gale. Second down and 10 for the Lions. John Henry White. Good job by Ben Zambiazzi to bring him down near the 20-yard line, short of the first down.
Well, White has been a very prominent figure here this afternoon as far as the receiver is concerned. That's his 7th reception.
119 yards for John Henry. One was a 66-yard score.
Wasn't that a beautiful run?
Sure was. I mean, he took a pass similar to this, and he ran 60 of them 66 yards with the football.
That's right, a little screen pass, just dumped it over the line of scrimmage. Lions going to gamble with 3rd and about 3.
Again, Tulumu. He made a first down just on tremendous effort because he didn't have any blocking help out there at all. He just had to use his speed to make it.
Well, we talked about his speed before, supposedly the 4.4 and the 40, and whether that's a fact or not, he certainly was quick getting around that corner. Moves it down to the 15-yard line now. He outruns Gerald Bass, 14. To the sideline. Felix Wright also over there.
First down for the Lions at the Hamilton 15-yard line. Cowan with a straight drop. Fernandez, touchdown. Second touchdown of the afternoon for Swervin Mervin Fernandez. His 10th touchdown of the season, a 15-yard score.
Boy, a good throw by Cowan as he just sets up beautifully back there. Single coverage on Fernandez, and it's awfully tough to do that. Brown was the defensive corner on that side.
Brown actually took one away from Fernandez earlier in the ball game when he looked like he had a touchdown pass. Knocked it away, but this time Fernandez hangs on to it. The second of the ball game. Pasaglia converts it. And the BC Lions have opened up a 46-11 lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats with 8:12 remaining. And we'll be back in just a moment. One of the many photographers along the sidelines here at BC Place Stadium.
I think we should be taking her picture, not her taking pictures.
Louis Pasaglia ready to kick off following the touchdown by Fernandez. Rufus Crawford on the return. Brings it back to the 35-yard line. Fournier in on the tackle, along with Nelson Martin, number 4, a 30-yard return for Crawford. And Jeff Tedford comes into the ball game at quarterback for Hamilton, number 9. Jeff Tedford, of course, in his second year out of Fresno State. 6 feet, 179. Will not have any stats on him this year at all. This will be his first game action.
Comes the safety blitz right away on it.
Almost picked off by Andre Jones, intended for Johnny Shepard.
Tedford set a school record at Fresno State with 24 touchdown passes in 3 seasons.
Nelson Martin at the safety blitz. Ponar also blitzing on the play. Lions defensively just don't let up on you, do they?
They sure don't. Young guy who was in Associated Press and United Press International honorable mention as an All-American in '82. Still needs a little time to throw the football. regardless of your press clipping. Look out.
Parker pursuing Tedford. He lays it up for Lee. He's got him. First down and more. He stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. But he does have enough for the first down, a pickup of 12 yards. Pass from Tedford to Lee. Gave his receiver lots of time to run underneath that one. And Lee was wide open.
Well, he proved he could move with the football as well as he bought himself time that time after being under pressure from the Lions again. 7:08 remains now.
Seven minutes exactly remaining in the ball game. The clock is running. Tedford to Rocky DiPietro, bounced out of bounds immediately by Larry Crawford and Darnell Clash. Be a pickup of 6 yards for DiPietro. Second down and 4 coming up.
Seems to throw a very soft type of pass, Dale, the last 2 completions. I'd like to see him wing one in there, see what kind of arm he's got.
Johnny Shepard very close to a first down as he crosses midfield into BC territory. Had to get to the 53-yard line. He is there. It looks to be enough for the first from our vantage point. And referee Larry Rohan signals that it is. Shepard, you see, limping back to the huddle. Coming into the ball game, he was not 100%. He's been bothered by a hip pointer, which kept him out of the early season games. Tedford putting it up for Ron Johnson. He has to wait for it a little bit. That gave Mel Bird time to get in position and turn around and knock that ball away. Hung it up there a little too long that time.
I don't recall another pass in this ball game directed Johnson's way, Dale. Has there been?
You may be right. Possibly one other, according to our statisticians. Bob Lee's, Doug Stone.
All right, I'll stand corrected. 2nd and 10 now for the Ticats.
Big rush from McClure up the middle. Tedford in trouble. Ball is an incomplete pass. He had his arm in motion just as he was hit. So the line of scrimmage will remain the 53-yard line of the Lions, and the punting unit comes on.
Well, everybody, those BC Lions front 7 people have taken their turns today of putting big pressure on the Ticat quarterback. You would have to say that they have won the battle against the Ticat offensive line.
Third straight game now that Dieter Brock has played in BC Place Stadium, and the Lions have scored over 40 points against his team.
Never really had a big day here, has he?
No. Mel Bird lets it bounce up the field. 15-yard line. Draws a penalty flag for no yards. Brings it out to the 27-yard line. Kearns in on the tackle along with Lee. That punt traveled 38 yards. Bird brings it back 12. Coming up next weekend. Have a game Friday night and Saturday night. We'll be at McMahon Stadium in Calgary where the Stampeders will try to make it 2 in a row after their big win today.
17. First down.
They'll be playing the Ottawa Rough Riders 9 o'clock Eastern. Then on Saturday night, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will play host to these Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Bombers, of course, coming off that big win this past Friday against Ottawa, in which they scored 65 points. And one of the best offensive displays we've ever seen. Tim Cowan handing off on first down to David Palumu. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half-yard gain on the play. David Sauvé, number 88, in on the tackle. number 76. Got a piece of the ball carrier as well. Second down, about 9.5. 4:20 remaining in the ball game. Tim Cowan throwing behind the intended receiver to Lumu. So the Lions, 2 quick plays. The offense will hand things over to the punting unit.
The race, if you could call it that, for the last 2 playoff spots in the Eastern Division is certainly going to go down to the wire. Nobody taking the bull by the horns. Running away.
They're not acting like they really want it that bad, are they?
They sure aren't.
3 teams in the West playing above 500. Only 1 in the East.
Only 1 even close.
Right. Saglia, let the clock run down. They'll be charged with taking too much time.
This game will move the Ticats to a 2-7-1 record over the first 10 games. BC will move into a first-place tie with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at an 8-1 record.
Crawford on the return for Hamilton. Rick Klassen, who has been all over the field tonight for the BC Lions, was there to make the stop and hold the return to 6 yards following a 47-yard punt. With 3.5 minutes remaining in the football game here at BC Place, I'd like to just say thanks to a couple of technical people, producer Dave Waite, director Jack Tennicliffe, for the 2 games we've been working with them this weekend. It's been most enjoyable. With Crawford, Nelson Martin is there. Andre Jones, pickup of 2 yards. The fans are having fun anyway. It's BC Wave time again.
Well, they've had a lot to cheer about.
The Lions scoring over 40 points in this football game, and we have 3 minutes and 1 second left. It's 46-11. We'll be back in just a moment. So they've opened their second half of the season the same way they opened the first half with a big win at home. Jeff Tedford looking at second down and long, got the pass away. Tyrone Cruz was right there to meet Rocky DiPietro after he made the catch, and that's a couple of big fellows meeting right there. Cruz at 235 and DiPietro weighs about 220.
Tedford had to drop that ball off very quickly too, because the Lions came with a safety blitz. Nelson Martin, number 4, putting the pressure on the young quarterback. The Ticats once again will have to kick it away. Bernie Ruoff doing the duties.
Bernie's 15th punt of the afternoon. And 18 is the record for one game, set by Martin Faby of the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 1963. Here's Darnell Clash on the return. He's had an 83-yarder for a touchdown.
How'd he get away?
Clash was finally stopped at the 37-yard line. 2:19 left. That was a 37-yard punt and a return of 12.
Dale, do you remember Rocky Long, great punt returner from the BC Lions?
Sure do.
He was the coach of Darnell Clash in Wyoming. Maybe he taught him how to bring him back.
You certainly would think so, right? There's Tim Cowan to Donnie Taylor, who's now into the ball game, along with Ryan Potter in the backfield. Taylor takes it out to the 45-yard line. Zambiazzi, Janavakis make the tackle. It's a pickup of close to 8 yards for the BC Lions. Donnie Taylor doesn't really get to play a whole lot for the BC Lions.
He's good enough to be a starter, you know, Dale, on a lot of other football clubs. Good receiver, great little blocker. Well, with that football.
Second down and 2 facing the Lions. Here's Taylor again. It's a block from Gerald Roper. Taylor takes it out to midfield. David Sobe made the tackle. Gerald Roper, number 65, was the pulling left guard. He got out in front of Taylor, threw a nice block this quick.
Oh, he's a strong little guy, too.
There's Roper.
Good block by Potter.
Looks like Roper took out 2 guys.
Down inside 2 minutes now with the BC Lions putting away the Hamilton Ticats 46-11.
Here's Taylor for the 3rd play in a row. Tripped up by Gerald Bess at the Hamilton 48 for a pickup of 7 yards.
Cowan says, well, if they're going to give me that one, I'll take it. Same class as the first down play a moment ago.
Helps to use up the time remaining in the ball game, and with this victory, the Lions' record will be 8-1. Best record in the league. They're actually tied with Winnipeg for first place in the West. Taylor again. Didn't quite get the first down near the 46-yard line is where they stopped him. He had to get to the 45. Fans want Coach Matthews to go for it. And he's going to let him.
Not really a big gamble, is it?
Well, it's certainly not a gamble.
He brings his big troops in there, a short yardage offense.
It's 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Tim Cowan gets to the 45-yard line. Felix Wright of the Tiger Cats says we stopped them, but we're going to get a measurement, I'm sure.
Most of the season, that's about the only play that Cowan was brought in for. They didn't want the Walt on the quarterback sneak, so 3rd and short, they bring in Cowan every time. Doesn't do much for your stat.
Yeah, coming into the ball game, he had a rushing average of 1.9.
He's come up short. The Ticats will take it away from him.
Just looking at it, I think Hamilton got a pretty good spot on that play. So they take over possession of the football with 55 seconds remaining.
That's very strange. You know, now they put the football across the 45-yard line.
Well, you know why they do that? Change possession, the ball goes end over end. Turn it going the other way.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. See what Jeff Tedford can do here in the last minute. Crawford again, and Tyrone Cruz is there to greet him. You know, we haven't seen a lot of Cruz this afternoon because the front four has been playing so well, but he is really not a guy you want to run into like that.
One of the bigger little linebackers in the Canadian Football League, and he can pop you. He's 235 pounds.
Second down and 5. Johnson makes the catch at the BC 45-yard line for a pickup of 15 yards. Working against Ed Jones, his first catch of the afternoon.
Just 30 seconds remaining now as the Ticats try to put one more in the end zone.
Ball was tipped, I believe, by Mac Moore. He was engaged with Ross Francis right at the line of scrimmage, and you see the stupid big paw is up there to deflect it away from the intended receiver, Crawford. Second down and 10 coming up. 10 seconds left. The BC Lions offense came to life here this afternoon. Putting 46 points on the board. The defense as strong as ever. It's up to score against Bedford, trying to go to Crawford. Knocked away by Andre Jones just when Nelson Martin looked like he had an interception.
Nelson Martin thought he was going to be bringing that one back for sure.
Poor Rufus, he does it all for the Tiger Cats, and he's not 100% healthy, but he's still out there giving it his all. He is a good football player. Rufus Crawford, number 21. And this time he's going to get a breather. You have time for one more play, and Crawford's at the bench. Last play of the ball game. Kind of indicative of the way things have gone here this afternoon for Hamilton. It was an incomplete pass, and the gun sounds to end it. The BC Lions have defeated the Hamilton Tiger Cats 46-11. The CFL on CTV will continue in just a moment.